Introduction. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. Imagine an emperor at the height of Rome's power, responsible for wars, governance, and the lives of millions. Yet, at night, sitting alone with pen and parchment, writing thoughts not for public praise but for his soul. Marcus Aurelius was this man. Meditations is his personal journal, filled with reflections, admonitions, and reminders to live a virtuous, purposeful life. Written during the trials of his reign, the book captures the humanity of a ruler burdened by immense responsibility. It speaks of his struggles with ego, fear, and mortality, but it also reveals his relentless pursuit of wisdom and inner peace. What makes Meditations timeless is its emotional honesty. It is not the musings of a perfect man, but the self-exhortations of someone striving for greatness amidst chaos. Book 1. Gratitude, the foundation of a virtuous life. Marcus begins by acknowledging the people who shaped him. Each line is a testament to humility. His father taught him to be modest and manly. His mother showed him simplicity and generosity. His teachers, like Rusticus and Apollonius, instilled the importance of discipline and philosophy. Emotional resonance. Marcus's gratitude is deeply touching. He doesn't take credit for his virtues but attributes them to those who guided him. Imagine the Emperor of Rome, a man with the power to reshape the world, reflecting with such humility. It's a lesson for all of us. No one succeeds alone. Key. Takeaway. Gratitude is the bedrock of character. Recognizing the contributions of others helps us remain grounded and aware of our interconnectedness. Book 2. The present moment, the only reality. Marcus delves into the fleeting nature of time, urging himself to focus on the present. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. These words aren't morbid, they're freeing. Marcus confronts mortality not as a fear, but as a compass to live meaningfully. He warns against getting lost in past regrets or future anxieties, urging himself to embrace the now. Emotional resonance. There's a quiet urgency in this book. You can feel Marcus grappling with the weight of impermanence while finding solace in the beauty of each moment. Key takeaway. Life is fleeting. Let this knowledge inspire you to cherish the present and act with purpose. Book 3. The Inner Fortress. Master your mind. Marcus emphasizes that the true battle is within. External events, whether triumphs or tragedies, are neutral. What matters is how we perceive and respond to them. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. He reflects on anger, temptation, and despair, reminding himself that these emotions arise from within. By mastering his mind, he can remain unshaken in the face of adversity. Emotional resonance. Marcus's vulnerability is palpable here. He doesn't present himself as immune to anger or fear, but as someone striving to overcome them. His reflections remind us that even the strongest individuals struggle with self-control. Key takeaway. Strength lies in mastering your mind. Cultivate inner peace, and external chaos will lose its power over you. Book 4. Perspective. A cosmic view of life. In this book, Marcus zooms out, contemplating the vastness of the universe and the insignificance of human concerns. He writes, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." This cosmic perspective is humbling and liberating. It reminds us that our problems, no matter how consuming, are small in the grand scheme of things. Emotional resonance. There's a bittersweet beauty in Marcus's reflections. His words inspire awe and a sense of relief, as if he's saying, "You don't have to carry the weight of the world." Key takeaway. Adopt a broader perspective to find peace and clarity. Life's trials become manageable when seen from the vantage point of eternity. Book 5. Duty. Overcoming resistance to action. Marcus begins this book by addressing the familiar human reluctance to rise from bed and face the day's tasks. He reflects, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do?'" Marcus reminds himself that every creature has a purpose. The bees do not shirk their duty, nor do the birds fail to rise and sing at dawn. So why should a human, a rational being gifted with reason, hesitate to fulfill their responsibilities? Emotional resonance. The vulnerability of these reflections is striking. Despite being an emperor, Marcus struggles with the same inertia that plagues us all. His words are not commands, but gentle reminders, filled with self-compassion. He urges himself, and by extension us, to see duty as a privilege rather than a burden. Key takeaway: duty is sacred. Rising to meet it is not merely an obligation, but an opportunity to contribute to the greater good. Book 6, Desire and Fear, The Chains That Bind Us. Marcus delves into the two great obstacles to human freedom, desire and fear. He sees these forces as chains that prevent us from living in accordance with nature. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. He reflects on how desires, whether for wealth, status, or pleasure, lead to dissatisfaction. Meanwhile, fear of loss, pain, or death causes unnecessary suffering. Marcus repeatedly reminds himself that both desire and fear stem from misjudging what is within and beyond his control. Emotional resonance. There is an underlying sense of struggle in these writings. Marcus's reflections feel like the battle cries of a man striving to break free from his own limitations. His words encourage us to question the motives behind our pursuits and to confront the fears that hold us back. Key takeaway: true freedom comes from letting go of attachments and focusing on what truly matters, living virtuously. Book 7, Resilience, Turning Obstacles into Growth. This book is a meditation on resilience and the power of perspective. Marcus writes, "What stands in the way becomes the way." To Marcus, challenges are not roadblocks but stepping stones. He reflects on how obstacles, when approached with the right mindset, can strengthen character. Whether faced with betrayal, loss, or hardship, he reminds himself to respond with patience, courage, and wisdom. Marcus also writes about the impermanence of life, using it as a tool to cultivate resilience. Think of yourself as already dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. Emotional resonance. There is a somber yet empowering tone in this book. Marcus acknowledges the inevitability of suffering, but finds beauty in the strength it brings. His reflections offer solace to anyone grappling with pain, urging us to see adversity as a teacher rather than an enemy. Key takeaway: life's challenges are opportunities for growth. By facing them with resilience, we transform obstacles into triumphs. Book 8, Empathy, the Unity of Humanity. In this deeply introspective chapter, Marcus reflects on the interconnectedness of all human beings. He writes, "We were born to work together, like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on them, these are obstructions." Marcus acknowledges that people often act out of ignorance or misunderstanding rather than malice. He urges himself to respond to others with empathy and patience, even when they wrong him. Emotional resonance. This chapter feels like a heartfelt plea for unity and understanding. Marcus's reflections resonate deeply with anyone who has felt hurt or betrayed, reminding us that forgiveness is not about excusing wrongs, but about freeing ourselves from bitterness. Key takeaway: empathy is the foundation of a virtuous life. By recognizing our shared humanity, we can foster compassion and harmony. Book 9. Acceptance, Embracing the Flow of Life. Marcus meditates on the importance of accepting life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. He writes, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." He reminds himself that everything, success, failure, joy, and sorrow, is part of the natural order. Resisting this flow only leads to suffering. Instead, Marcus encourages a mindset of acceptance, viewing each moment as an opportunity to align with virtue. Emotional resonance. There is a quiet strength in these reflections. Marcus's words feel like a balm for the soul, offering comfort to those struggling with the unpredictability of life. His acceptance of life's impermanence is both humbling and inspiring. Key takeaway: peace comes from embracing life's flow. Acceptance is not resignation, but the courage to face each moment with grace. Book 10. Mortality, Living with Purpose. Marcus confronts the inevitability of death with a mixture of solemnity and resolve. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. He reflects on how the knowledge of mortality can inspire a life of purpose. Rather than fearing death, Marcus sees it as a reminder to live authentically, free from trivial concerns and distractions. Emotional resonance. These reflections are deeply poignant. Marcus's words challenge us to confront our mortality, not with dread, but with a sense of urgency to live fully. His acceptance of death is both humbling and empowering. Key takeaway: let the awareness of mortality inspire you to live a life of virtue and meaning. Book 11. Simplicity, the Power of Living. Simply, Marcus writes about the beauty of simplicity and the dangers of excess. He reflects on how unnecessary desires complicate life, urging himself to focus on what truly matters. If you seek tranquility, do less. Or, more accurately, do what's essential. For Marcus, simplicity is not about deprivation, but about clarity. By letting go of distractions, he can devote himself to living in harmony with nature and fulfilling his responsibilities. Emotional resonance. There is a calming, almost meditative quality to this chapter. Marcus's reflections remind us of the peace that comes from shedding life's excesses and focusing on the essentials. Key takeaway: simplicity is the key to tranquility. By doing less and focusing on what matters, we can find peace and clarity. Book 12. Legacy, The Final Reflections. In the final chapter, Marcus reflects on his legacy and the meaning of life. Live a good life. If there are gods, they will honor you. If there are none, you will have been honorable. He writes about the impermanence of all things, including his own reign and achievements. Yet, rather than despair, Marcus finds solace in the pursuit of virtue. For him, living with integrity is the ultimate purpose. Emotional resonance. These reflections are both solemn and uplifting. Marcus's acceptance of his mortality and his commitment to living virtuously resonate deeply. His final words feel like a farewell, a reminder to live with courage, compassion, and integrity. Key takeaway: legacy is not about fame or power, but about the impact of a virtuous life. Conclusion: a legacy of timeless wisdom. As we close the pages of Meditations, we are left not with the musings of an emperor, but the soul of a man who, despite his power and influence, grappled with the same fears, doubts, and struggles we all face. Marcus Aurelius invites us to peer into his mind, offering raw and unfiltered reflections on what it means to live a virtuous and meaningful life. Marcus's words transcend time, reaching out across centuries to touch the hearts of those who seek truth. He doesn't lecture or dictate. Instead, he humbly shares his struggles with anger, despair, inertia, and mortality. His honesty disarms us, making his lessons deeply personal. Who hasn't struggled to rise from bed, burdened by the weight of daily responsibilities? Who hasn't felt the sting of betrayal, the pull of desire, or the suffocating grip of fear? Marcus's vulnerability reminds us that we are not alone. Yet, his philosophy doesn't leave us in despair. It is a call to action, a reminder that while we cannot control the chaos of the external world, we can master our inner selves. He teaches us to find freedom in discipline, strength in adversity, and peace in acceptance. What makes meditation so profoundly moving is its humanity. Marcus acknowledges life's hardships, yet finds beauty in its fleeting nature. His reflections on mortality are not morbid but empowering, urging us to embrace each moment with courage and gratitude. He reminds us that our time is limited, and within this brief window we hold the power to shape a legacy of integrity, compassion, and wisdom. To live as Marcus did, to rise each day with purpose, to face adversity with resilience, and to embrace others with empathy, is to embody the highest aspirations of humanity. His writings challenge us to see life not as a series of burdens, but as a sacred opportunity to align with virtue. In the end, Meditations is not a book about philosophy. It is a book about life. It is a guide for the weary, a balm for the restless, and a beacon for the lost. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, speaks to us not as a ruler but as a fellow traveler on this shared journey of existence. His words are a gift, a reminder that no matter how turbulent the world may seem, peace and meaning are always within our grasp. As we close this book, let us carry its wisdom in our hearts, striving to live with the same courage, clarity, and compassion that Marcus so fervently sought. His life teaches us that greatness is not found in titles or riches, but in the quiet, steady pursuit of virtue, a pursuit that echoes through the ages, lighting the path for those who come after us. I hope you liked this book summary. For more such book summaries, please like, share, and comment on my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Bye-bye. See you soon.